So, hi, on the Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
I'm here with.
Hi, I'm Cooper.
Hi, I'm Nat from Arcadia
And
Grey.
there's some questions to say about the new album, Casually Crashing. So, congrats on that, by the way. How do you guys feel about the response to it so far?
Well, it's been like 5 days since it came out. I don't know, it's been pretty good. This is the most like streams or anticipation from audience and fans we've ever had on a release. So I think it's good. I think it's going well. I'm stoked that I don't have to work on this anymore and I can just it's just out in the world. So,
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's as we were saying in the beginning here, it's been a while since new music. Glad that there's new Arcadia Grey out in the world. It fucking rocks.
Absolutely.
hell yeah.
Oh yeah, thank
Thank
you.
Of course.
Of course, hell yeah. So is there any meaning? Oh, what happened?
Oh, I was just saying hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. So
Hell
is there
yeah.
any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I don't so we made Konami Code, right? That art of that is like a skeleton and a peach. And we've kind of been carrying the skeleton over through things like on our trilogy. And like when we were doing the Konami Code album release, somebody asked us what it meant, and I had no fucking idea. We just hired an artist, and they gave us that, and we were like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I put some thought into the album cover this time. I actually have an answer,
Good.
which is we were kind of discussing the themes of the album, and it has a lot of it comes down to just like that, like transitioning from like when we're like in college or like out of high school when we were writing Konami Code into like when writing this record, our adulthood and like dealing with the repercussions of growing up and being an adult and the things that come with it. And so the art on Casually Crashing, to me personally, what I had thought represented was when you turn 16 or 17, you get a car, and that's usually the start of like growing up and that transition into like being a responsible adult. And I wanted that to kind of represent like us, quite literally, like the album's called Casually Crashing, but the front of the album is a car flying straight down nosedive into some sort of apocalyptic landscape and tearing a void of ghouls and demons through with it. And I wanted the car to kind of represent that transition from youth to adulthood as we hurtle into being adults
Hmm.
into the chaos that is pretending that we all know what we're doing. So
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I like
That's
that.
cool.
long story short, that's what the album cover means.
Good. It's got meaning this time. Hell yeah.
It does.
And is there any meaning behind the title?
Yeah, I mean, it to me, again, like Casually Crashing is essentially a title track to Kevin Pickles and that song where I sing about casually crashing with all of our friends, and it's just how we're at least for us, my experience of being alive, we are just crashing our way through lives just casually. I may be watching TV shows, but things in my life are doing leisurely pleasurable things, but things are just collapsing behind the scenes constantly and destroying. And Casually Crashing to me was this facade we put up while everything is as we slowly walk our way through the chaos. And I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
It does.
It does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think
Hell yeah.
I think that theme is kind of like kind of present on a lot of the tracks as well. Honestly, it's like all this shit that's going wrong, and it feels like every day you're in this like speeding car towards doom or
Mm.
whatever, but at the same time you just kind of have to keep living your life. You don't have, at least not in front of you, like a ton of other options to
Yeah.
like, you're just casually strolling around the street,
Yeah.
you're just doing your thing, but it still feels crazy. Everything
Mhm.
kind of feels crazy. So
Yeah. At what point in the process did you guys realize that that's like the theme of this record is like this idea of casually crashing?
I think kind of we had never the thing with Arcadia Grey is a lot of decisions come quite late. And like for the longest, this record has probably been in like writing form for like 5 years. And so
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, since Konami Code ended, like Hallie was like the first track that we wrote. That's the closer on the record, and like Casually Crashing, as I mentioned before, is a lyric in Kevin Pickles, and I wanted to like build up ideas that we have done on Konami Code by like naming the record that record Konami Code, and I was like looking at lyrics that I thought stood out on the record. Like we had written the record, I think we had pitched ideas when we went and recorded, but we didn't land on a name until like a year ago, when the record was like towards that, when we had finished recording like 6 months and we're getting masters, mixes, and stuff back. But I was kind of looking through the lyrics, and that one stood out the most as like relatable to like all the songs, marketable, and just kind of silly and goofy at the same time. You know, that's how we came about the name, or what my thought process was just like it fits with all the songs, you know.
Gotcha.
I felt.
Yeah. So once that revealed itself to you that was going to be the name, then it just kind of, the idea that with the theme, with all the songs or a majority of the songs on the record kind of came about, at least for you, Cooper.
Yeah, I think so. I was gonna say something else about it. I think I enjoy also like the from the Konami Code transition to Casually Crashing. You have the you still have that like phonetic, the ka, and it doubles down the so I think that's kind of cool. It kind of fits within that same theme.
Mm-hmm. That's fucking sick. Oh yeah. So can you guys tell? Yeah, fuck that. Fucking love that shit. So can you guys tell us a little bit about your writing process for the album?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, what we did was like so we wrote Konami Code. I'm gonna keep going back to Konami Code because I feel like that's kind of where this all started. We wrote Konami Code. That album came out, changed our lives in some ways. But after we had finished it, I was like, we got to write a second record. Mm-hmm. We got to do this. And so we like tore it off. That we dropped that record in 2019. We like tore it off that record. A pandemic happened. Cora and I got like locked away into our houses, and we started like we had time and started writing songs. Like Cora had written Hallie in 2019, but Cora in the pandemic wrote an EP that never saw the light of day because the songs ended up on this record. Most of them, I think 3 of the 5 that she wrote ended up on this record, and 2 of them ended up on the trilogy we did a while ago. But so while Cora was writing those songs, Cora is the type of person who can write a song in what feels like 30 minutes. And I'm the type of person that takes like 3 years to write a song. There's only 2 songs on this record because those were the 2 I felt were that I had sang and written solely alone, that I had felt were like my strongest songs to bring towards what Cora had. And so Cora wrote those songs for the EP. I had brought my songs to band practice, and we started like working together on those as a band. And like there were a few other ones that the ideas, because I usually bring shells to our practices and Cora brings fully written songs. And so there were a few shells that never like got fully formed or felt like they could go on the record. But Dwight and Kevin Pickles were songs that like really stood out to us as like what we would call bangers or heaters in band practice. And then Cora will write songs and then deem them not worthy, but they'll be in our Google Drive and I'll stumble across them. Like Made for Love was a song that she didn't want to be an Arcadia Grey song, but I found it in our Google Drive on accident. I was just like, what's this? I clicked on it and my life was changed. I was like, what the fuck? And I texted her and I was like, hey, what's this song? And she was like, oh, you weren't supposed to see that. And I'm like, this has to go on the record. Like, so
yeah. I mean, I kind of already have something like that with there are some other demos that Cora has worked on, some stuff specifically for the next album, and the first one that she showed me for the next record, I listened to it and I'm like, is this for the next record? And she's like, I don't know yet. And I'm like, because I really want to play this as an Arcadia Grey song. I want this to be in the Arcadia Grey lore. So I think that kind of happens a lot. Like Cora just has so much stuff under her belt that we just kind of either stumble upon or she shows us and she's not sure about what its purpose is, but yeah, a
That's
lot of it for with Cora, I get demos, and with Nat kind of shows up, and sometimes I'll get like voice audio texts of parts of the song, and then I'll start working on what kind of beat I want to put to it. Um, we did some writing in the studio as well.
yeah,
Yeah, we
like
did.
Dwight 512 was a song that like a year ago on April Fool's we dropped a song called Get Pranked,
Mhm.
which was a section of a song of Dwight that we ended up cutting because so Dwight was like the first verse in the chorus, and then that section, and then like the end chorus that we do, this section and Get Pranked. And when we were in the studio, we did a click like a I forget the term, but we like played through it so that we could like record over it,
Mhm.
and we just couldn't figure out what lyrics were gonna go over that section. So I like ad libbed some stuff, and that's how Get Pranked like came out, was just me screaming "fuck" into the microphone.
Yeah.
We listened to that back and went, we should cut this section out. So we ended up like writing a little bit in the studio and like reworking Dwight into like what it is now, and we're really stoked on it. And we also like a week before we went into the studio, posted up at one of our parents' houses in Indiana for a few days and just like fleshed everything out. So the process is kind of long for us. Like it starts with an idea, and then we slowly work that into our practicing and like learning it together while we're doing our other things in life and tour. And then we'll book time and then try to figure out everything as we go into the studio.
Hmm.
It feels like cramming for a test when we're writing a record. I feel in our two experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since there's such a long gap of time from when the writing process starts until the record came out, at least in this instance, do you guys still find yourself resonating with the tracks that are on this record? I mean, some of them were cut right around the time that Konami Code came out. That's a long fucking time ago. So like, do you guys find yourselves still resonating with what's being said on here?
If you ask Cora, she'll say no. She's like she's written 3 records between now and then, And
Yeah.
I both feel the same way. Like I love what we wrote, but I've listened to it probably 1,000 more times than anyone has. And so like a year ago I would have said, yes, I'm super stoked. But now I'm ready to like, I think my love for the songs in the album will be like reignited once we start like playing it live and like seeing people's like reactions. But as of right now, I enjoy that it's out, but I do resonate in some way. But we definitely changed. I've personally grown from a ways away from these songs.
Fair enough. Cooper?
Yeah, I would say like I still think a lot of it is super tight. I didn't write any of the lyrics really. I did some for Dwight because that song is about dropping out of college, and Nat did not drop out of college. I did. So I was in the writer's room for the lyrics on that one.
Well,
I'm also pretty far removed from that period of my life, of leaving college and having my own path. For like my part of playing the drums and the percussive side of the music, I think a lot of it does still resonate with me, but I've grown quite a bit since recording that as well. And we've played the songs a lot live to a point where it happened with Konami Code 2. Like our music as a live performance is always evolving and growing and changing. So I'm doing like new things that I still find to be better than how I recorded it. But I still think, I go back and I listen to the songs and I enjoy listening to them as their recorded version as well. I think there's still a level of it that resonates with me for sure.
That's good. Hell yeah.
Good. Oh, yeah. So, what song off this album took the longest to write, and which one is each of your own personal favorite?
Well, Dwight might be the longest just because it was the buzzer beater song
Yeah.
to finish writing. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
I think so. I would agree that Dwight took the longest.
Yeah, I guess Dwight took the longest, even though like when you boil it down into what it has become, it's not the most complicated track on the record. But
I wrote that song when I dropped out of college. so I started writing that song when I dropped out, and then I went back to school and I didn't know how to finish it, right? And
Yeah.
then you and Cora came in and were like, "Well, we dropped out of school. We know how to finish this song."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but because I feel like, uh, yeah, I feel like that was the longest one. My favorite's probably Origami Crane. Like my favorite song off the record.
Yeah. I think Origami Crane is my favorite as well.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
think we're in agreement. That song is just so cool.
Or it's just so vulnerable, and then it's really fun to play.
Hmm.
And I can't wait to play it live and
I
sing
think
with it. Yeah.
I think it's one of the best climaxes that we've ever written for a song
Yeah.
as well. It's just so cool.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So how'd the tracklist album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, close be a closer, shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
Well, that's that's where, like I said earlier, like we don't make decisions very well or very quickly. So we actually like a
Yeah.
lot of, so this record was like very much like a compilation of songs that fit within themes that we were. I mean, even now we talk about like what are the themes of our last projects, or we're constantly debating like and discussing like about older projects and what they mean and where they've come from and how far they've come. But like we're casually crashing, like the whole process, we're like, what is this record about? Like we know roughly what each song is about, but how does it like tie together? And we're coming down to the wire again on sending these into vinyl or to the vinyl plant. And we're like, we need to come up with a track listing. And so like, and change some of the song names, because like Top Deck Jinzo was called Chunk Light because Cora was looking at a can of tuna when she named the song. So like
Yeah, demo
So-
names had to be changed.
Mhm.
Everything is Miserable was one of those songs that was supposed to be on the other EP, so it had the EP name that it was going to go along with. But yeah, I think we all just sat down one day and had like a round table meeting, and we're like, all right, what are we doing for the track listing? And we came up with a bunch of different ideas and finally landed on the one that we did now. But pretty much every time we went through, we're like, well, this track listing has this one specific thing that we don't love, this one problem. We were thinking about like specifically because we knew we are gonna have a lot of vinyl records for this release, that like, oh well, how do we want to do the outro of the A side into the intro of the B side?
Mhm.
And we have 3 singles for the record. We had Made for Love, which came out as its own single before, but is on the record.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like halfway a single for the record. And then we had Kevin Pickles and Everything is Miserable as the other 2 singles, and we're like, well, do we really want to put all 3 singles together and front load the singles into the album listing and the tracking? And we decided yes on that, and then we threw Top Deck Jinzo as the opener.
because Top Deck Jinzo is like,
Top
or
Deck, yeah.
Jinzo is like a Yu-Gi-Oh card that you want to pull first.
Oh.
So we were like,
Yeah, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh reference.
we were
I
like,
don't
well,
know
this song's a fucking
Yu-Gi-Oh,
banger.
but
So
yeah, it's a banger. I think it just kind of fits saying Top Deck. I think it's a great opener song as well in general.
Mhm.
But yeah, just like the naming convention of top decking it is
Mhm.
also pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that.
For
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
and also just like, to me, Top Deck Jinzo is the song that like I feel like it's got the dark moments that the record has, but it also has the humor or the tilted humor of like wanting to kill your father, you know,
Yeah.
and it's silly, and but also I feel like it set the tone for the record where we have our moments of humor but also sincerity.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then like the last 4 tracks to me are like were a no-brainer, like Rat Fortress into Crane into Jet Set Radio and Halley were just like, felt like it had to be those.
Yeah, I felt like it definitely had to be those. We were pretty clear on that. We had to go into more discussion about, I think, what we wanted to end off the entire record with. And like I said earlier, between the how do we want to outro the A side into the B side, what do we want to do? Because a lot of these songs also work as like introductory songs.
Well, I think we had all talked about like let's open with P Daddy Hoodie or like let's close with Made for Love. Like we all had different songs that we thought would be great openers and closers, and I think we didn't pick any of those for the forum. I think they're all in the middle.
Yeah.
So would you guys be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this record?
Well,
Cooper, where were you at?
where was I at? I was at a lot of different places because it was such a long time. I mean, coming out of Konami Code, I was at a pretty high headspace because our record was taking off in a way that I never really expected. And then we were touring and having a great time, and then COVID hit, so my headspace became like deep depression. I'm stuck in my house for like 15 months, just stuck in the same room. And then moved to Chicago. My headspace still wasn't like great because I came here with like no money and I had no idea what I was gonna do. And I started working for DoorDash. Fast forward a couple of years, we still do music. We're still touring. We're writing the record. I get a new job where Nat used to work. And I think since then, my headspace has been a lot better. But for the majority of that time, it was like I was either depressed and stuck in my parents' house or depressed and not wanting to do DoorDash in Chicago. So for the most of the record, it was a lot of lows, I would say.
I feel like
but it was fun. I mean, music is what like drove me. It's what gave me life and passion. So
absolutely.
Well, I feel like from a writing standpoint, I mean, Cooper's not wrong. Like it was a low point, I think, for all of us. Like, I mean, the record's about that transition into adulthood and letting go of, or learning responsibilities and letting go of those reins that your family and parents had on you, and so like that's what we were going through when we wrote the record. Like that's the headspace I was in, was becoming like learning how to live with roommates and coming to terms with not wanting to do what your parents wanted to do, and Cora dealing with her relationships with her parents and trying to be a functioning human in life, and that of us as like a queer band and queer people trying to live like that. That's the headspace where we were at, just learning how to function and not crash while doing it. And that's the headspace I think I was in. I know Core was in a similar one. This record is a lot darker than Konami Code. There's no breakup songs on it. It's not as immature. It's a more mature themes than before, and that's because we were becoming more mature.
Experiencing more mature things.
I still feel silly and stupid, and the next record's gonna have a ton of breakup songs and be immature again. But
nice little mature moment.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys are doing better now. I mean, we're far removed from the pandemic, but I hope everybody's feeling better now.
I don't know.
We just did that whole tour with Glass Beach was like we were smack
sick.
dab in the middle of the pandemic again. It was sick. It was like super massive and awesome. We get to tour with great musicians. But it was total mask up policy. It was like they had the UV lights and everything, and the box fans for air purifying and everything.
That's good.
So definitely,
it was like being in quarantine again for sure.
God damn.
But yeah, we're doing better. I'll say for PR sake, we're doing so much better.
I don't think there's been a single PR thing that's come out of your mouths the entire time, so we don't have to start now. It's okay.
Hell yeah. We've been media trained since the last time.
All right.
A little bit. I don't know how much stuck.
I think I went back and listened to the 2 episodes we did, and we were fucking crazy.
We were a little crazy.
It was interesting episodes for sure, because we were so little and unexperienced with interviewing. So it was
chaos all around.
Yeah.
I was gonna say right off the bat, you guys seem way more like you know what you're doing.
We are
Yeah.
also media trained. That's a lie.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good lie.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So how do you guys recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should do in the car with friends and dark with headphones on? Is a workout album, party album? What do you guys personally recommend?
It's not a party album.
No.
I think it could be a party album. My best recommendation is if you have a rough day at work and you're clocking out at like 9 o'clock, 10 p.m. after you're working on the hotline. Cooper, are we a line cook band or are we a front of house band?
I mean, we're kind of mixed, but I think overall we have more experience as a line cook band.
Then I would say listen to this in your car after you've clocked out of closing at like 9 a.m. or 9 p.m.
Yeah.
and cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kitchen days, a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I that's what I would say. I mean, I think this can be a fun record to play with friends. I would not put this on aux with my friends. That's for sure. Hey guys, that's a really good song, and then you put like the closer track on there, and I feel like it'll get the food.
I think
Yeah.
it's a lot of like intimate personal theming. So I think listening alone is kind of the point where you should be with it. But there's definitely songs that you can throw on that are just kind of like if you're super angry with your friends, you can throw on like Top Deck Ginzo and you're like, yeah, fuck. I do feel like throwing a brick and I do want to just break something. But
Mhm.
I recommend the best way to do it is if you have a roommate that you need to like do something, you know, just casually put on Kevin Pickles. That's all.
yeah.
Just put
Okay.
it in front of the room, maybe while they're making a meal
Okay.
in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Highly
maybe when they're making a meal, and maybe if they're like, imagine they're in their room and they're like playing video games with their friends, you could like take a big speaker and push it up against the door,
Mhm,
and put that song on, and they're required to listen to it. I think they'll get the message.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
All right.
All right. So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your heads, I want you guys to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. 3 words each, 6 total, no more, no less.
Whoa. Is that one? Oh, fuck. Did I do shit?
No, that doesn't go. It doesn't go. It doesn't go.
I would say gay. I say it's a much more gay record. If fans out there weren't, never mind. I won't describe anymore.
Okay.
I was
That's a
going to say
lot.
if fans out there weren't aware that we are both trans and gay, and that I feel like this record will definitely let them know.
Hell yeah. So that's 1.
That's one. Cooper, what do you got?
I think vulnerable would be the first one.
Mhm.
It definitely feels like our most vulnerable,
The
like
vulnerable
personal.
gay.
Yeah.
I would say heaters. I feel like every track for me is a straight heater.
Good.
If it was all one, I was gonna say like not media trained.
Ah, yeah.
But
Fuck. Yeah, I reckon it's not media trained.
our record is not media trained.
No, yeah, gay
Goofy?
vulnerable heaters. Goofy.
They're
That's
still goofy, yeah.
Goofy, okay.
We
And Matt, you cooked
we
with
don't-
that.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah,
What you
did
just
cook with
said, that string of 3 words, that should be
Yeah.
your 3 words. You should lock that in.
Yeah, lock that in. Lock that in. Write that down.
what 3 words? Not media trained.
No.
No,
What-
no. Gay vulnerable heaters.
Yeah, that's our first 3. Gay
Oh,
vulnerable.
vulnerable is mine. You can't steal that.
Oh yeah, you
I'm
did
not
steal
stealing-
that.
I'm not stealing yours, Cooper. I'm saying
I
that's
said
our
that.
collective
You guys can
3
each
on that.
have
I just-
one that you're sharing, okay?
All right, we want to share vulnerable. All right.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I thought we were doing a collective 6. Are we doing 3?
Oh no,
each?
it's 3 each, 6
Oh,
total. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
got
you
mine.
can't take mine.
yeah.
Okay. I
Sorry,
got mine.
Cooper.
I got mine. Gay silly heaters. There we go.
There,
Okay.
okay,
Goofy,
okay.
silly, and goofy. Yeah, you know what? I'll let it slide. So I said vulnerable,
Mm.
goofy, and Nat, you gave up on gay, so I'm gonna reach
No,
out.
I said gay. I get gay silly heaters.
Yeah,
Oh, you did say gay?
yeah.
Yeah. You got big headphones on for someone who can't hear.
Wow. It's all the tinnitus.
Yeah,
Tinnitus and years of drug consumption.
yeah, I'll do it.
So
Yeah.
Cooper, we're
Uh,
media trained. We're not supposed to talk about drugs.
Yeah, come on, guys. That's like media training 101.
101. Damn.
damn, you're right. I'm sorry. No no more substance abuse in punk music. We can't talk about it anymore.
Mm-mm.
No.
It's all sunshine and
It's not
roses.
media
Canceled.
soluble.
Yeah.
I need one more word.
Queer.
Epic. It's epic.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh yeah. So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
I would say that like despite the darkness and like our coping with the humor on the record, I still think like for me listening, I still take away some hopeful themes from it.
Mm.
I know that like not a lot of the songs feel extremely hopeful, but I do think there is a tinge of hope for things to be better. Like like we are growing and crashing and all of this, and like the things around us feel like they're all crashing, but there's also like the themes of your community and the people around you and trying to be a better person yourself, and I think that comes through as well. So I would hope that people find some of that in there.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would probably say like the word sincerity keeps coming to mind. I don't know if that's an emotion, but uh,
I think it's connected.
it fits there.
It's in that circle, that little family. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that comes to mind. I'm not gonna expand on that. No comment.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Shit.
No
Uh,
comment. Abstain.
That is some hella media training right there.
There you go. See, it's paying off now. I could tell. I could tell.
Yeah.
So, are you guys able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments in the creation of this album, positive or negative?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this record came out 5 years later than we wanted to. I would say a lot happened. Like, so we started production on this record in like 2022. Uh, yeah, 2022. So we went into recording at Headroom Studios. So we had another member in the band. She quit the band, had to focus on herself and her life and her music, and that's okay. So she quit like right before we started going in to the studio. So then we like rescheduled. That happened, and then we went into the studio with like no money, and I paid out of pocket for the studio time because we thought we had a label deal, and that fell through right before we went in.
Oof.
And then our record. So these are negative things that were happening in the
Yeah.
production. So we go through, we have a blast recording. It's awesome. We get to the last day of recording. Cora's got to do like most of her vocals. She loses her voice,
Oh.
can't finish the vocals. Then we get home. The holidays happen. Still don't have money to finish the record. Talking to labels left and right, trying to get them to like front the money to help us do this. Cora gets so consumed in her life. We go on a tour before she can do her vocals. Our van breaks down in Baltimore. We get stuck there for like 4 days. I'm just shelling out why this record took so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
Cora then had to work because we all spent a lot of money, so she couldn't do her vocals. We finally signed to Smart Punk in May. So yeah, whoa, it's been like a whole year now. Probably to the day, honestly. Signed to Smart Punk in May. We get the money. Cora finishes her vocals. Our producer, this is announced, recorded Dr. Dog's record and had to work on that, their newest record.
Mm-hmm.
So then he couldn't finish our record. So things just like kept the theme of this record, like the production was things just kept getting in the way. Like,
Yeah.
and this is why for me it became Casually Crashing is as we're like playing these shows and doing our regular life, this record is falling apart left and right as we're trying to get this out. And like, I'm doing a lot of the logistical stuff and emailing, and like eventually finally last December, we got our final mixes back and everything got mastered. But like the process of getting this record done, when we recorded Konami Code, so many things went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal for this record was to avoid that. And in that process, so many things went wrong. You can't do anything right. None of the bad things that happened on the last record happened, but 10 more new things got in the way. And but there were a lot of positives. Like our producer Kyle is like I feel like a really good friend now, and we got real close with them. In the year and a half we had been talking to him, and we as a band got closer and got some really cool opportunities, like touring with Glass Beach through this record. So yeah, that's what I have to say. Cooper, you got anything?
I mean, I think he kind of laid out all the struggles that we ended up going through. I think I typically went into things with not enough money as well, but like for that, I was fine just going there and recording. But yeah, I think just in general, it was all these different things that kind of piled up into pushing the record further back over time. Yeah, it's out now. We're chilling.
Yeah.
We're doing well.
There was a time last year where I didn't think this record would ever see the light of day. So
Damn.
I'm happy that it's out. Actually, on Saturday, I woke up and I was like, oh, I don't have to do anything anymore. Like this record's done.
Yeah.
And hopefully LP3 goes a little bit smoother. Just a little bit.
I'm just gonna say whatever happens, you know?
Yeah.
Cora texted the group chat Saturday, was like, "I time to work on the next one," and then I had like a huge sigh, and I was like, "Please, can we wait like a week?"
Yeah.
Can I just have 2 days to celebrate the win, and then we can let me just have the weekend.
Exactly. Yeah.
Back to the grindstone Monday.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. I think overall, I think we're excited to work on new music because, like, for everybody else hearing this music for the first time, it's really cool and new. For us, it's just been with us for so long. So I think like the musical aspect of it, the most fun aspect of it is going to be a good time working on something new again. But also these songs we have to make sure we can play for tours for like however long we're doing this.
Yeah.
So,
I mean that's what I'm excited for. I mean, like I said earlier, like these songs like resonate with me very little than they did when we first wrote them, but I really stoked to see what people have made our songs, you know, what connections they've grown with, the memories and the just what they make our record out to be for themselves. Like that's what
definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's cool. We like to play some of these songs live already just because they're so much fun, and like leading up to a record, it's a good idea to play some of the new songs that are coming out. But in general, it's going to be very cool to have our audience like know these songs when we show up instead of them being introduced to it live. They'll know it, and they'll like know the cues for our audience interaction stuff that we do.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We're really excited waiting for the first time that our room is singing back the little campfire ending of Dwight that we do.
That'd be sick.
I think that's gonna be like such a highlight for us.
Oh
yeah.
Probably.
So for this question, I want you guys to picture you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Dude, you know what's been really good right now? One, I always go to like not the branded potato chip aisle, but I always go to like the local like potato chip aisle. Like every like state or like region of the country has like their regional potato chips. So I always go for those. But what's really been kicking my shoes recently, is that a saying? I have no idea.
I don't think so.
Sure, it is now.
You know what's been really buttoning my shirts?
What's really been tapping my heels?
I like all of these, genuinely.
You know what's been twisting my hair that I really like? Tickling my earlobes. I really like the this is weird. I'll stop. You know what's been folding my blankets? I really like the ranch like French fries that Cheetos have been putting out. They've got like ranch like potato fries that are really good. You know, like Caps like fries. Never mind. They're really good. People who know will know what I'm talking about. There's like the like potato fries, Cheetos, ranch are really fucking good.
All right, take your word for it.
Yeah, I think I usually just go around and I check out everything that has Red 40 in it. And I just grab that off the shelf.
Yeah. Love Red 40.
Yeah, love Red
Cooper's
40.
in,
Mhm.
Cooper read 40 Maxes on.
I read 40 Max all tour long.
Keeps you strong.
Keeps me strong.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps the
That's
blood
like a-
flowing. Same
Mhm.
color as my blood, baby.
I mean, it makes sense, like scientifically. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You are what you eat, so I am Red 40 man.
Damn
That's
right.
like a-
Hell yeah.
That's like a beat. That's like-
No, I usually get like a coffee or water. If the water's cheap. If you go to the
Mhm.
West Coast, the water's not cheap.
No.
But the coffee, yeah, I usually get like a small coffee or something, and then
Cooper, the amount of like half drink gas station coffee cups that were left in the van.
okay,
Like, are you sure the coffee's good?
I wasn't getting the gas station. I get the little they get the Starbucks canned coffee or the glass bottle ones. So I don't know who was doing that. That might have been a Dylan thing, but that wasn't a me thing.
Yeah.
And
Get
then
framed.
yeah, I'm getting framed here.
Mm.
Coffee lovers always getting framed out here.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And the what are the nerds balls?
Dude, nerd.
Clusters.
Clusters? Yeah,
Mhm.
there's clusters. I go crazy for the cluster.
Hell yeah.
Dude,
Sounds
the
good.
cheddar hot dog roller dogs.
What the
Ew.
fuck?
It's like a
What
roller
did you
dog.
just say to me?
Yeah.
That was a lot of
Fuck.
buzzwords.
Ew.
It's a roller dog infused with cheddar, and it's really fucking good. And the jalapeno ones are really
Yeah,
good.
it
That sounds like a
sounds
fucking
disgusting.
bathroom venue nightmare, man.
Two for $4. Like that. Talk about a meal.
Dude. Ew. That's fucking
Talk about a meal.
Talk
Yeah.
about a meal.
Yuck.
Talk about a
ew. Dude. That's fucking. Okay.
Yo,
And,
I eat
well,
healthy,
when
like,
you're
my
on tour,
entire
you
life.
don't get the gourmet, you know.
But you still have choice. There's like a cup of fresh fruit there, but
Listen.
you go for the cheddar hot dog.
Well,
I do
Okay,
get
I
parfaits a lot. Those are good. Get some yogurt,
do-
get some fruit. That
Yeah,
shit's good.
exactly.
I
Exactly.
Oats?
eat
Get
oranges
oats?
and apples in the van. Like I eat fruit,
Mhm.
but like when I want to ball out and I don't have $20 to spend on a San Francisco turkey dog, it's a roller dog.
Okay.
It's gourmet.
Can we talk
It's
about
like-
like you go into like a Sheetz or a Wawa? Like
Uh-huh.
those places are pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I like Sheetz better.
Me too.
Mm-mm.
I've only been
Mm-mm.
once, but they got
Sheetz
pretzel
has
rolls
more
and
options
Wawa doesn't.
I went once
Mozzarella sticks.
recently. I didn't like it very much. It's because I don't eat much fried foods. My
Yeah.
my stomach was just fucked the entire road
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah, if you're into fried foods, I think it's definitely Sheetz.
I watched
'Cause they just have so much.
I watched Cooper eat one of the mega tubs of like mozzarella sticks at like midnight.
Oh,
Yeah.
At midnight in a hotel
Glory
room.
just
and
puked thinking about that.
and just passed the fuck out.
Yeah, and
Cooper
then I
did that.
passed
Cooper
out.
ate a whole pizza that day too. I'm pretty sure it was like a whole.
No, it wasn't
pizza
the
and
same
like-
day. Wasn't the same day.
Bottomless
Cooper's
pit.
tour-
still in the same
You're
like time frame though. That's fucking crazy.
You're clowning me for eating tour dogs. Cooper's tour diet is like.
Well,
cheap.
You're still eating gas station hot dogs, so
Yeah.
I don't want you getting too carried
It
away.
ain't the sushi though.
Oh. Cooper's like,
can't.
Cooper's like, I'm innocent.
Yeah,
No.
like, let me eat my pizza and mozzarella sticks in peace. At least those are normal.
Exactly. I'll let you live. I'll let you live.
Thank
It's
you.
a hot dog.
On
No,
a fucking roller for God only knows how
Roller
long.
dog.
Get the fuck out of here.
that
I
shit's
feel
been there
shame.
for multiple shifts, man.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay, so for this last question, boom, we're dropping the entirety of Arcadia Grey in a horror movie. Who is dying first and who is living to the end?
Oh. I feel like we all die first, right?
Oh,
No, I don't know.
I feel like canonically it would be me, right?
Yeah, the hot dogs
first
got
or
you.
la-
the
Oh,
hot
yeah,
dogs
the hot
might
dog
have
would
got.
get-
If
yeah.
it's a
Like
hot
in the
dog
opening
themed
credits.
horror movie, I think Nat's out. But Nat is, I think, maybe the most like well,
Cautious.
you're an Eagle Scout, right? So you
Yeah.
have like the survivorship skills, like depending on what kind of a horror place we're in, like you at least know how to tie a rope together and get
I
off
know-
a cliff or something like that. That
It'll be
I would
like-
not be able to know.
It'll be like that scene in that Cabin at Night in the Woods or Cabin
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods, where he's like giving the speech, like, "We're gonna get out of here." That's me, and then I explode or get eaten by a monster.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Nat's dying
I feel like
first.
Cora will survive. I feel like she's the one.
I think Cora would probably be the one to survive. I think she gets out. I think I'm close behind, but I
You get
either,
distracted
like,
by.
I'm either like a sacrifice myself at the end, or like, because I feel like I'm probably the comedic relief.
Yeah, you two,
Whoa, no
survive,
way.
so that there's more than one character in the movie, but you're ultimately the one that dies, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cora gets to the end.
Mhm.
exactly.
I think it'll
Cora
be like
makes it.
Green Room. It'll be like Green Room.
You think it'll
Ah.
be like Green Room?
Yeah.
So, would I be getting my hand chopped off? Or
I think I would be the hand cut person. You probably get gutted by a dog, and then like I get shotgunned. in the face.
Yeah, I
later.
couldn't hurt a dog.
Oh yeah. Oh, just let him do it.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Um,
get it.
So, as Gloria said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
Yeah, listen to our freaking record. Listen to Casually Crashing right now. Do that. And then when do you guys know when this is coming out? Because I think we're announcing a tour, but I don't know.
If you announce a tour on here, then we will wait
Mhm.
or cut it out.
I mean it'll be announced by the end of the week, but yeah, we're going on
Oh,
tour.
yeah.
Going
We're
on tour.
We're
East
come to our
Coast.
album release show.
Album release show in
June
Chicago.
15th.
Beat Kitchen,
And then-
June 15th. Harrison Gordon, Trash, Summer Brews, us.
Yeah.
And
And we're playing Pug Fest, so go to that.
Podcast.
yeah,
And there's a tour between there and that with Stay Inside, Summer Brews, and Cali Cousins.
well, thank you, Silas, guys. Been Cooper and Nat from Arcadia Grey, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.